is up, everybody? Welcome to this Fun Speculation special edition. Tonight should be Fun Pop, but something happened. There was this little leak that happened with some documents that got out there. Things were said, things were shared, and instead of talking movies and TV shows and stuff tonight, we have to take a step back and discuss what actually is probably the biggest leak in video game history. Definitely the largest in Xbox history. And we're going to dive through a lot of this stuff and discuss it. What does it mean? How much of it is going to stay the way it was presented? But this is real stuff. I was in disbelief last night as these documents were being shared. I got to give a shout out to Calorie because he was the first one to hit me up in the DMs and he sent me something. I was like, is this real? And then I went and quickly looked and checked Twitter. I saw Tom Warren sharing this stuff. I saw Wario64. I saw everybody sharing these documents. Like, holy crap, this stuff is insane. Consoles, games, acquisition targets, Game Pass propositions, all these different things like just out there for our eyes to see. Secret emails, all this stuff. And we're going to have a lot of fun breaking a lot of it down. But I want to thank everybody here for checking out the channel and for watching the show. If you do miss Fun Pop, don't worry. We'll be back next week. And but yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Shout out to Bionic Wolf, member for 6 months. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening to you, Bionic. And I hope you all are having an awesome night. And it was hard for me not to go live earlier today. Hard for me not to go live last night.
I was really thinking, like, when we were in the DMs last night, I was like, he's going to wake up in about, like, 5 minutes and run upstairs and get on his computer.
I would have, but I'm trying to be strict on myself and make myself go to bed at a decent time, because if not, I'll sleep in, and then the schedule's going to get ruined, so we're trying to be good, and I really wanted to go live last night. I did, because it was like, what's going on? Instead, I put out a short video today. I had another show that I just did. I was lucky enough to be asked to be a guest on C Money and Doodle's channel. They have an awesome channel, and they just did an interview of me, which was a lot of fun. So go check that out over. It's On Point for Gamers is the channel. Awesome people over there. Awesome channel. Great shows. So go support them. But yeah, if you want to check that out, you can check it out later. And for now, we'll have some fun talking about these leaks. Whew. And I got to say hello to this panel here. There may be more joining us. I don't know for sure who all is going to be here. I know Bob said he might be able to. I don't know if Fuzzy's going to end up being free or not or whatever, but we'll see who ends up hopping in. But we got 3 amazing people here. The actual full Fun Pop crew is here right now. I will start with 3-Bit. How you doing, bro?
Doing better. I just got through COVID. Busy weekend with Deion Sanders and his family. A lot of the commercials we did went live, so that was cool. If you guys look at like some Affleck stuff.
Name drop.
I was just hanging out with Deion Sanders over the weekend.
I was just hanging out with Prime Time. I've actually,
did a lot of his stuff.
Made me interested in college football again, because I've been now that he's coaching Colorado, I've actually been watching and the highlights and watching.
It's been fascinating. Me too. Yeah. I haven't really been super caught up on like college football, but like just seeing like all the celebrities that are interacting with him and stuff. It's been
I see,
it's like put some energy.
Disney Plus, your Affleck commercial.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Heck yeah! I didn't know they were on Disney Plus. Yeah. So I've been busy just recovering from the sickness. My Xbox kind of died in a way. I'm still going to try to troubleshoot, but I've been PC gaming a little bit more. Played some emulation games. Played Def Jam Fight for New York, so that's been really fun. I play a little bit of NHL Hits 2002. Awesome hockey game.
So that's what you're playing instead of Starfield on your PC? Like you're going back and playing old ass games and you could be playing Starfield? What's wrong with you, 3-Bit?
Yeah, I was playing a little bit of Starfield, but I don't know. I just got this random nostalgia wave over me that I wanted to try all these games that I played as a kid. But yeah, I think what made me mad is like since my Xbox didn't work, I'm like, dang, I can't play Starfield, even though I could just play it on my PC. I'm like, I can't play Starfield, and then I started playing emulation games.
Starfield is
interesting.
better on your PC.
It is. The graphics are way better in Starfield than these games I've been playing. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I put a lot of hours into Starfield, so I'm very. It's my favorite game probably of all time. So we could definitely talk about that.
Yeah, so great use of your 3090 playing NHL Hits 2000.
Let's go.
What's up, Psycho? How are you doing, bro?
Oh, I've been fantastic. Just got off work.
Right on.
So it's been kind of crazy, and I have not been able to digest everything that has transpired from last night. Just just a couple of little things here and there.
And is anybody talking about the leaks at work today?
Not really, because I mean, these are just your average casual gamers that I mostly deal with. I get some hardcore guys, but usually the hardcore that come in there are just PlayStation guys, and they're all picking up Mortal Kombat today.
Yeah, right on. I keep forgetting that came out. Like,
Caitlin was saying she couldn't hear Psycho. I don't know if
you're pretty low, Psycho.
Am I low?
You're a little bit.
Okay.
And you're usually so loud. But
Alvin,
how about now? Better?
It didn't change at all.
It sounds the same to me, but
yeah. I think you need to turn up your volume on your mic, maybe.
That's what I just did.
Or like
maybe
sit in the same room as your mic.
I'm gonna try and jack your audio up on my end. Say something.
Hello, check. 1 2 1 2.
You're not as animated as you usually are. Maybe you're just sound sad.
No, I'm just tired. Tired. Yeah, because just working all day, and then so with this Mortal Kombat fucking game coming out, everyone's like, oh, I can't wait for Mortal Kombat, and it's like, cool. And then we got the idiots out there running with Spider-Man 2 is the game of the year, and I'm like, get me out of this hell.
Yeah.
Get me out of this hell.
Well, we're gonna have some leaks to talk about with Xbox for sure. So
yeah. So the thing I want to know about is was this controlled leak?
Oh,
or
no.
Was it?
No way.
You sure?
No, yeah, absolutely. It's not.
There's so much damage that could come from this.
That's that's not controlled at all.
Damaging.
Shout out to Alvin, hit us with a $5 super chat. Says checking someone through the glass in NHL Hits 2002-2003 is a top 10 feeling in gaming history. Greatest sports game ever.
That's what I remembered. Like, you can literally hit somebody through the glass, and it's like so satisfying.
Yeah,
so good.
I know I played it. I just don't remember it. How are you doing, Jasper?
Pretty good. Just watching Twitter pretty close today, trying to figure out what's going on. Just hit 420 subscribers on YouTube, so you just got to blaze it up today. And
is that what you did? You just had a blunt after you hit 420 on YouTube? And I don't see that as that being you for some reason.
Yeah, it wasn't, but you can always dream.
You can always dream.
That's what I've been up to.
Right on.
Talk to me after the show, Jasper.
I feel like you were the only one up really talking in the DMs like last night when all that stuff went down in our group, Jasper. I was awake and I did desperately want to go live.
To take a nap because I was like, I'm going to take a nap because the first Descendant went live at 3 o'clock.
It was 12 a.m. My time. It was like 1. You're going to take a nap at 1 a.m.? Yeah, that's called.
I was going to take.
What that's called? It's called going to sleep. It's not a nap when it's 1 a.m. That is going to bed.
I was going to take a 2-hour nap from 1 to 3, and then I was going to wake up and play first Descendant for 2 hours, and then I was going to go back to bed.
Okay. It's the first Descendants thing hit last night?
Yeah.
Is it you played it today?
Yeah.
How is it?
It's needs some work.
I've heard good things on Twitter. It seemed like people like it on social.
Which game?
First Descendant.
The First Descendants. It's like a looter shooter thing.
Yeah.
Did anyone get Mortal Kombat? No.
No.
Not yet. I'm going to. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. Starfield, man. Like.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't care about any other games at all. Like Starfield.
Freaking Starfield.
And I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. Like I love Mortal Kombat, but for some reason it's just.
How long do you think this is gonna last? Like this Starfield craze?
I don't know. They just passed 10 million players.
I mean, for you,
for me, at least till Forza comes out, probably. But like, I'm going to start playing some other things.
Yeah. I only stopped because my Xbox stopped working, and I was playing it on my Xbox, but I could play on my PC. I've always been a console person, so
yeah, it's better on your PC. Just like
it's way better on my PC. But still,
yeah. I was playing the other room in the other room the other day, and I just stopped, didn't care. I was just really into it, and on the Xbox it was awesome. Then when I play on the PC, and here's like, man,
you can play with the controller on PC, right, 3-bit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just honestly, it's just location. Like downstairs, I have a really big TV, and it's nice. I'm on the couch.
Is that a TV to your right or your left? I don't know which way that. I don't know.
No, this is way smaller.
I don't recognize the logo on that TV, so I wouldn't put Starfield on that.
No.
What is that?
No.
What
I don't even
brand
know
is
what
that?
brand this is.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this is.
Don't put Starfield on that. That's
where I watch
that's an
my
injustice.
Hulu PS5. Yeah.
That's your Hulu PS5 TV?
This is where I play PS5 Hulu stuff. I use my PS5
That's a good TV for PS5. Don't dare put
Yeah.
don't dare put Starfield on that thing. What is it? Do you know what it's called? Is it like
it has a W and like a
Westinghouse. It's a Westinghouse.
It's a Westinghouse?
Yeah, it's a Westinghouse. It's got a W, it's a Westinghouse.
That was a $189 special on Black Friday.
Probably not even that.
It's very just cheap, whatever. But downstairs I have the LG C9 and it's so beautiful on that screen. And so yes, I just get spoiled sometimes. That's it. But it is really nice on my computer. It runs at like 80, 120 frames. I could do ultra and it runs smoothly. And yeah, I don't know. I just get weird sometimes about PC games, even though I just played a bunch of PC.
So you're going to be playing 2002 hockey. Got it.
Yep, that's what I do.
That would be a good game to play on that piece of shit you have over your shoulder right there.
I think the resolution's like 7
play your retros on there.
Yeah, I'm going back to Starfield on my PC. Yeah. How many hours do you guys have? You have way more than me, but I feel like I've been putting in some hours.
I've like 70 something, a little over 70.
I think I got like 160 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Psycho, how many you got?
Last I checked, it was 98, maybe over 100 now because I was playing a little bit. So
I feel like I don't even know.
5 hours.
No,
3 hours.
Like maybe 2 days.
He has as much time
hours.
as Dan Stapleton. How about that?
I can now review the game.
Now you can review it.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I can review.
Oh, all right, guys. So let's get into this. Biggest leak in gaming history. Not only we have roadmap plans, we have. I guess we'll start with the first news that dropped last night, which was the plan for, I believe it's next holiday, is what's rumored right now for their
Xboxes.
Yeah, for there to be a new Xbox Series X that is going to be dickless. It's dickless Xbox. A diskless Xbox Series X that's going to be kind of rounded is what the prototype picture is.
I don't like that. It's like
it could be different now too.
Yeah,
right?
I'm hoping so because it's like I don't want X cylinder. It's a fucking Xbox in the name. You don't make it a box, you're like missing your entire fucking brand.
I was thinking that.
It
I'm
does-
like, Series X is actually it's a box, so it's like Xbox.
It does kind of look like a like first
It's like a modem.
generation like Amazon Echo, right? Kind of like from the picture. It has a USB-C drive on the front. It had the sync button. It had the power button, but it's like a cylinder. Question I have is like, would it be flattened on the back if you set it on your side?
That's what I was gonna say.
Because
like
how
if you sit on a side, it's gonna roll.
Yeah,
So it's like
it'd be funny, right? I would love to see somebody put it on its side and see if they can try and get it to stay. Like anyway, that'd be weird.
Starts rolling.
Yeah. Excellent. Oh, it's going down the stairs. Oh my god.
Also a new Series S.
Yeah, the Series S, which we just got a Series S revision.
What was Series S?
What was different about the other Series S, Jasper?
It's just going to have the updated Wi-Fi and Bluetooth chips and some other chipsets in there. It's going to be the same performance level. It's just updated technologies in there, same as the Series X.
Right on. Shout out to Spartan661 that hit us with $5. Says, shout out to everyone that are awesome enough to be a fun speculation fan. The shout out is really out to the fans that send membership, pay it forward. You appreciate that, Spartan. You're absolutely awesome, man. And thanks for watching the content and the support. Yeah, it means a lot.
Fans out there.
Yeah. Fun speculation. Speculators is what we call you guys. So I appreciate
that may have been he's saying it's $299 instead of $350. The price may have changed. That may have been an old slide. I would assume that the technology is the same. I would just don't know about the price. The price may have went up.
Yeah, how old is this, first off? Like, do we have a date, a confirmed date that this presentation slide was generated?
The emails have dates.
The emails do, but this specific slide is like a presentation, right? It looks like an internal kind of presentation. I see a date on this that says like May 2nd, 2022 is where it was sent. So I don't know if that's the date that this was created, but I'm assuming it's around that time, which is a year and 4 months ago, right? So that's 16 months ago. And how much has changed since then? How much has not? I don't know. But some of the timelines on here don't match up 100%. With the fiscal years and stuff like that.
And some of the slides contradict each other with like what they're working on. It's like, so.
Yeah, and Phil Spencer did come out like as I thought. I was saying like, are they going to make a statement? Or are they going to stay silent? But if they made a statement, what they'd probably say is like, things have changed, and leave it open to us to try and figure out what it is. So that way, it kind of keeps us guessing. And Phil Spencer made a comment basically saying that it sucks that fans get the news this way, it sucks for the developers, sucks for the teams and stuff involved, and he can't wait to share what the real plans are, so there's definitely some stuff in here that's different, which is to be anticipated because these are old slides and plans and stuff. And the Xbox generally in their history has also been very dynamic, right? Like one year they may have certain plans, the next year sometimes things change. Like they're very
look at the Kinect with the Xbox One when it first came out. It's like, we're never separating these two. And Phil came in, is like, we're separating these two.
They changed a lot of times, and this was also before. This wasn't before the ABK acquisition was planned or anything, because that was back when, like last January.
Yeah, that's when it was announced.
So this I guess would have been keeping them in mind, but like yeah, I think still then it's been so long. It's interesting to wondering what's going to be like the same from this, or what's going to be different, and all that kind of stuff, and how even the stuff that is real, how much of it is like prototype mock-ups, how much of it is like what it's actually going to look like, or what it's going to be. We have project names, we have games in here, like some of those could have been canceled, some of those could have been in the works, but we do know that the leak is real, right? So whether things do or do not happen is because things changed internally or plans changed, right? We got a lot to go on here. Chris Jones hit us with the $2. Appreciate it. Chris says, we have someone at Tokyo Game Show hoping to talk to Phil some. Yeah, with the Iron Lords. That's right on. Yeah, it is interesting timing too, because Tokyo Game Show is coming up. He's going to be there just going to have a lot of questions to answer, but I'm sure he'll give the same answer. Like, we have exciting things to announce, and we can't wait to share the plans we have with the fans. The stuff that you guys saw, a lot of it was, it was old. So things, maybe some stuff in there that's the same, maybe or maybe not, but, we'll share the things when we're ready. Probably something like that, and
generic.
That's what to expect.
Response.
So, but we'll kind of get into the start of this, right? We have a roadmap to 2030. I'm not gonna. If I show this on the screen, I showed it on my video. I made a video today for the first time in a while, and I showed some on my video. Am I okay to share this stuff on the screen?
I mean, it's all over Twitter, and I don't see them taking it down. So
yeah, there hasn't been like, okay. Yeah, it should be okay. All right, so I'm gonna show this here. We got roadmap to 2030 here. Gaming devices approach document. Okay. So this is specifically talking about devices, and what their path is, and they have a whole path forward for to 2030. So this was a 8-year plan, pretty much. Now taking into account if the date that we have up here is accurate of May the 2nd, which is right here, then that leads us to think that these plans are not that old, right?
Yeah, I mean, wasn't like if they showed this in or had to give these up for the courtroom, I'm sure they had to do specific dates, like give emails from this year to this year,
right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I would assume that was probably like when they pull up the slide, it'd be like, we made this slide or whatever at this time or whatever. So it's like they don't have to put the date on the slide. They just say like, yeah, we made it in January 2020 or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
So we have this roadmap 2030, gaming devices, and some of the stuff we're gonna try and figure out what it means together, right? So it says identify a path to our Xbox 2030 goals. You got $7 billion hardware, 16.9 billion transactions and others, 7.8 billion subscriptions, 2.6 billion mobile transactions, and 1.4 billion in advertising. 100 million Game Pass members. So this is their goal by 2030. They want to achieve 100 million Game Pass subscribers. So that's
not far off.
Yeah. Well, part of it changing Xbox Live to Xbox Core is helping that. I don't know 100% if they were taking that into account at this time or not, because they made that change this year, and I don't think the Xbox Game Pass Core is mentioned in any of these inside documents, right?
I wonder if they count those as actual Game Pass members, or if that's like something that they count them as something else now.
Right. Too. And that's what information we don't know, right? So shout out to also Spartan661, again, member for 2 months, says I will pay it forward and I hope fans will do it too. Yo, appreciate you again, Spartan. You're absolutely awesome. All right, so this says inform on our go forward programs, technologies, investments, and devices to drive our growth for the next 10 plus years. So this is definitely an internal thing talking about their plans, right? We have the gaming devices path to 2030. It says console business is the foundation. I found that interesting to start out with, guys. Namely because that's been a lot of conversation people have had, is like, oh, Xbox is going to be done with consoles, right? Where we've been talking about like, no, like the biggest spenders, the biggest money makers for Xbox is the console users. They're not going to abandon that market, right? And here they are at the very beginning of this slide and presentation. One of the first things we see is console business is the foundation. Consoles are considered a key health meter for the brand and will continue to drive majority of revenue and subscribers. So shooting down the narrative as well that gets brought up many, many times from people
getting out of the console business.
Xbox is done with consoles. Even IGN said it one time. Remember that from the one guy that was wearing the PlayStation chain? Xbox getting out of the console business. Nope. Again, even in an internal presentation, console business is the foundation. New endpoints are the path to 100 million members. Now, when they mean endpoints, do they mean devices? I'm guessing.
New off console endpoints and improving that experience. So I'm guessing that's
or
what
just new ways to interact with the Xbox ecosystem and pay for services and
different avenues to access Game Pass outside of the consoles. Guessing.
Right. So
right?
unlocking new off-console endpoints and improving the experience will substantially grow subscribers over the next 8 years. I look at mobile and PC primarily as the two other endpoints that they're probably talking about here. And then also you got all the other handheld devices that they've been pushing and promoting and all those kind of things, right? So those are, I believe, where they're discussing here. Then controller becomes the hero. So this new controller that we're going to show you in a little bit is a big part of what they're talking about with this. The new Xbox controller is the only thing you need to play on every device. This low barrier to entry will fuel subscriber growth. This new controller has
it's a nothing burger.
Yeah, I don't know what they mean by that. I think that
it just means that your controller can connect to a TV via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi.
Right, but also doesn't it go direct to cloud or something like that?
Yes.
That's the difference.
Yes. I mean, I feel like the way they've been marketing their controllers too, with all these different colors, and I feel like their controllers are actually making a decent amount of money, so they're just gonna keep pushing.
Yeah, that's the thing, Matt. That's the direct connection to the xCloud is the biggest difference with this one. So this is where they're talking about how this is the one controller to rule them all, pretty much, for Xbox.
So you get your controller, you can access it from everywhere. Also, the new controller is supposed to have a feature where when you pick it up, your experience turns on. I saw that in one of the things. Like you pick it up, it has like a wake up thing when you pick up the controller. I found that interesting. It also has haptics and accelerometers and stuff like that too.
Gyro.
Cool. Can we get quality out of it now?
I hope so. Just don't give me damn stick drift, please. Don't.
Well, they got to go Hall effect switches if you want that.
Whatever they got to do, I don't care. Just make a fucking controller last more than 6 months.
Well, it's just potentiometers they're just surface to surface, so they're gonna wear regardless. Hall effect switches is magnetic, and that's where you get the contactless. That like the Dreamcast controllers are Hall effect switches, and that's why those things will never get stick drift, no matter how old that the console is. Another reason why it was one of the best consoles. But
yeah. Personalization and customization. It says personalization and customization continues as a hardware strategic advantage and key profit driver and customer delighter. Now, part of that, they just did release the skins for Series X. So that wasn't mentioned in any of this stuff. So I don't know if that was a new plan or new idea they had come up with at the time. But they talk about the potential for Design Lab consoles in some of this.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, I wonder if it's changing because maybe the new skins thing is going to be a replacement to the actual Design Lab consoles because they saw that would have been too costly. Yeah. So they came up with the skins.
But I don't know.
Like that could be something that's changed.
How are they going to do the round skin? If they do the round console, they're going to do round skins? Like that would be.
Well, I looked at that picture.
Yeah, it's just going to be Xbox condoms.
Xbox condoms. Oh,
I looked at that picture, and it looks like the front is rounded and the sides are flat. So it's like it's the three flat sides, but the front is that curvature because there's no disk drive.
Yeah, interesting. Sustainability and accessibility, continued progress towards reduction of carbon tax impacts, re-energizing our journey of inclusion. So they also have, a lot of accessibility they are pushing as well in the games. They talk a lot about it with Forza Motorsport. So it says Xbox gaming at Xbox Series launch. So this is their devices, basically the way it was at launch in 2020 for Xbox. You had low to and mid PCs, you had consoles, the Series S and X, you had high-end PCs, then you had your headset, and then you had the Elite and Core controllers. So that was kind of still similar to the world we live in now, somewhat. Then it says Xbox gaming today. This brought it forward where we have, cloud streaming on mobile, cloud streaming on browsers, smart TVs.
You can't really play on iOS, can you?
The web browser you can.
Through the web browser.
Yeah. Low end mid PCs, streaming sticks and set top boxes. It's basically they're talking about the cloud. It adds a lot here to that.
This is where I think a lot of their plans changed. Or the next one down, at least.
So that's kind of where we're at today. right? This is a pretty clear picture of that. And then it says Xbox Gaming Beyond. This is what they hope to achieve and where they hope to get to with devices. And it's interesting because, you know, there's the rumored cloud streaming device, the little puck, as some people call it, or this little square. It was spotted before on Phil Spencer's shelf. But remember that prototype that they had originally been prototyping was rumored to have been shut down. And instead, they went more with the smart TV apps, and they had been supposedly reworking that cloud device. The interesting thing here is handheld is shown as a part of that. We had some discussions about possibilities for handheld for Xbox. And I think this is more than just third party when they're discussing this, but we'll see.
I don't think so, because there's a slide further down that says that the handheld's out of scope for first party funding.
But I think that was where it was then, like this is what they hope to achieve, right? So like,
but that thing was for 2030, like from now until 2030. So handhelds are out of scope for first party funding until 2030.
Okay. We'll see.
So
I don't know.
By 2030, they
because
could
I think what this is saying is that you can play Xbox on all these devices, not even if they're Microsoft owned necessarily, because it has third party streaming sticks. So that would also go for handhelds like Steam Deck and ROG Ally and whatever else comes out.
There's one difference here, because the ones that are not colored in are all third party things. The ones that have pictures where they actually are colored in are first party, like they're actually Microsoft manufactured. You have the headset. You have the
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, the cloud devices isn't. Keyboard and gaming mouse isn't.
The cloud device would be that puck that they were supposed to be making, right? That's the little like plug-in.
Yeah, I know. It's just.
But see,
I think it could be other stuff too.
Next to that is the set-top boxes that's hollowed out. That's just a little square drawing, right? But you notice like all the hardware that they have pictures of, it would be potentially more like manufactured and made by Xbox. I'm not saying that they're going to do it. I'm just saying that I think that's more of what it's representing that they may want to do at some point. All these other things seem like more first-party things, right? It's interesting. I mean, it's right next to the consoles.
Well,
right.
It's also like, how do you show a fucking handheld? Like when you have a bunch of other squares, it's like, I think it's more just distinguishing, like a way to distinguish, because you're using like basic icons for some of it, and then it's like, well, how do we distinguish between this box and this box on this slide when with like images?
Well, I'll go one further though. What if this was actually this is a prototype? We see the mock-up of these new Series X, right?
Yeah.
What if this is a picture and a mock-up of what their actual handheld plans are, first party wise? What if that's actually what they're trying to create?
I'm good.
Looks damn good.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't go for it?
I'll buy it.
I'm not gonna buy a fucking handheld.
I'd buy it.
I would get one. I would get one. I feel like, I don't know, there already are some really amazing alternatives out there. So
what if it played Xbox games natively?
The thing is there's another slide that leaked that showed that the handheld that they were talking about was going to be a sub $99 device, and if it's that, then it's just going to be cloud.
Well, that would be a cloud, yeah. So we'll see.
If it's just cloud, then no. But if it does do some games natively somehow, then I'd be on board.
Yeah, it's got to. We talked about this last night. If they do one, it's got to be a native gaming device. It's got to be like Xbox OS, right? Like, so you got all these devices here. This is kind of what they're hoping to get to, right? The path to leadership in gaming. Smart TV app. You got mid-gen consoles is line here, and it's between fiscal year 2025 and 2026. When does those years start and happen?
When does what start happening?
Like a fiscal year 2025. What is that for Xbox? Is that like June to July?
Well, isn't there? I would assume they're like end of year earnings call would be like, was it March or whatever?
I think Microsoft's fiscal year is like July to June, like July 1st to June 30th.
It's different from Sony's.
Yeah, but I don't know like what 2025 that would be. I mean, here's where I think the dates are off, right? Because I saw like Tom Warren and other people say like November of next year, right? But like that, I guess that would be fiscal year 2025 because that, and it's kind of the line is in the middle of that. So that would lead up to it because at the end of 2025 would be July of 2026 or 2025. Yeah. So it'd be like July to June. It'd be like July of 2024 to June of 2025, right? Would be fiscal year 2025. So the plan is to release the mid-gen console refresh, not more powerful, right? At around that time. In November, basically. Universal wireless controller would fall before that. So before July of next year.
Yeah, I would assume that the controller is going to probably launch the same day as E3. It would be their plans, and then they announce the two consoles. You can buy a controller now, and then it's going to be packaged in with the new Xboxes.
Right. The smart TV apps already happened, right? On several TVs. Gen 10 is marked as in between fiscal year 2028 and 2029. You have cloud first gamers, smart TV, streaming stick apps, low end PCs, limited mobile only. So that's like they expect growth there, right? But they expect it to grow larger than PC eventually. PC first gamers. And then console first, they're expecting some good growth there as well. Plus also they're counting multi-device gamers. So handhelds, consoles, all that kind of stuff.
So they're planning on launching the universal wireless controller by the end of right
before July of next year. Before July of next year is what this would line up to. So I would say probably March, April of next year, maybe, with where those line is.
You were kind of explaining the universal controller is just meant to work for multiple devices, I guess.
Yeah, I mean you could do that with a controller now, right? But
yeah,
I think it's more directed.
I thought they had a better calendar instead of looking at that graph.
There's probably one if I scroll down.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the whole slide here. So, gaming devices, business innovation. It says development model innovation, outsourced development model, wireless wired headset, one-handed controller, horn partnership.
Did you just say porn?
It says horn partnership.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I missed that last night when I was looking at it. It says development model innovation, outsourced development model, wireless wired headset, one-handed controller, and
that's horn. That one. Yeah,
that's
like a Wii controller type thing.
That's pictured right here. Right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Maybe Horn is a company that they're working with for some of this stuff, right? I don't know. Horn partnership.
Look up horn controllers. I don't see anything.
Yeah.
But maybe they're just a company.
Anybody in the chat knows what Horn is? No, I didn't say porn. I said Horn. Platform development efficiency. Headset platform. 70% of Norland tools reused for Englewood. That's code names. Controller
Amit
platform.
Kumar said maybe it's Horn Group, which is a manufacturing company.
Okay, so maybe that's the company that would be manufacturing the one-handed controller. Interesting.
Yeah, which will be kind of cool. Like I guess if it's a one-handed controller, maybe it'll work sort of like how their sort of other controller, their that big controller.
Or it's like the adaptive controller, I think, or whatever.
Yeah, the adaptive controller where it's basically
I think it's just another accessibility option. It's probably going to be closer to, like, I would just say the Switch or something. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like you get two of them. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if you can just have like where it works like a mini Switch or Wii or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of cool though.
Yeah,
I'm down for it.
It says customization in our core build process: one color, one qual, 2 routes to market. Maximize build efficiency. Starfield headset. I'm sure like this is made for a presentation where they kind of explain some of these like points.
Well, their core build process, their core is going to be if you scroll way up to the devices, that was like their core devices, and then they're talking about customizing those with the Starfield headset. I think that's what that means.
Okay. Right, that makes sense. Like options, right?
Yeah.
Then you got regrind and obsolescence mitigation with Feng Huang. No fucking clue. Regrind and obsolescence mitigation is basically to make things not obsolete. Repurpose. Potentially, I don't know.
Wait, what's his name?
Feng Huang.
I'm assuming that's some probably Chinese manufacturer or something.
So maybe talking about like excess like scraps.
That's a mythological bird.
Is it?
Is it Fang Huang? Can I see it?
FENGHUANG. If it's
that's a mythological bird.
Then that's a code name.
Interesting. It is a
demon
bird.
Or it could be a company that took that name as its
a Chinese phoenix. That's what it stands. That's what it is. I'll send you guys.
Newbies are 6.
I mean, it's either a code name or a Chinese manufacturer. So.
Yeah. Don't know, guys. Then it says continuity of supply. Numerous efforts to ensure stock continued to flow to retail shelves, which they've finally ironed out. Software-based security to alleviate longer-term concerns around hardware-based security chips and cost savings. Blah, 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 blah. All right, now here's where we get to some really interesting things. Here we have the first picture of this. Well, it's not actually the second time we've seen it now in this same presentation of the new Xbox Series X refresh. Not a slim, not anything like that. Right now, it's called refresh. It's a code name Brooklyn.
And I would like to say that I called this 2 hours before the leak went live last night on FSP.
You did. You did. You absolutely nailed this. And then they did it. Or they got leaked right after, which was insane. Brooklyn will deliver 4K Gen 9 console gaming with more internal storage, faster Wi-Fi, reduced power, a more immersive controller, and a beautiful redesign that elevates the all-digital experience of the Xbox ecosystem. It says, giving our fans more to love, beautiful and innovative new design, more internal storage for games, a USB-C front port with power delivery, all new, more immersive controller, same great price of $499. Updated technologies. It says all new Southbridge to modernize I/O and sustainability efforts. Can somebody explain that to me?
It's just the connections between like the internal components and then your I/O outputs, like your USB-C. So they're just putting newer chips in there so they can have USB-C technology on the front.
Seamless.
Okay. So basically, just like more
how they do the internals.
Yeah, it's just Southbridge is a chipset, and so they're just changing one of the chipsets so they can have modern I/O on the back and front of the console.
Okay, right on.
Yeah. It's the controller for all that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so a Wi-Fi 6E radio for better throughput, latency, and interference mitigation. So stronger Wi-Fi. As they talked about.
Better Wi-Fi.
Better Bluetooth.
Bluetooth 5.2 radio for improved accessory experiences. So I'm sure that'll kind of pair with some of the accessories and stuff that improve the experiences there. Maybe better range or whatever. I'm not sure. And 6 nanometer die shrink for improved efficiency. So that's pretty interesting because actually changing the die for the console, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's smaller die, more yields out of the wafer, so this way they can get more consoles. That's what PlayStation did with that last revision. They went with the smaller die.
Okay,
that's why there was a huge uptick with consoles.
So I think we'll probably see more of these more available than the Series X's that we've had so far.
Yeah, because you're able to get more actual CPUs.
It doesn't have a disc tray either. So
now, other question: like Series X that we have now, do they make them even more scarce when this launches, or do they like phase it out? Because this is diskless.
They'll use whatever stock they have. I would assume they'd start moving over to this.
So what will they potentially at some point this generation be a diskless platform? Like,
Yeah, they'll probably
at the end of the generation. I would assume the first year after this is out, they'll keep whatever manufacturing that they still have and keep those tools. So you'll have a year or two of extra manufacturing just so they can cover warranties and stuff on the old Series X.
I think that's caused the most people freaking out here, thinking about that. Now I think they're probably going to keep the existing Series X as well for a while and have the two options, one that has more storage and then one that has no disk.
They could have what PlayStation is going to do, offer a standalone disk drive if you want to have the physical, because then that'd be great for people that have Series S's and possibly the new Series X and S, kind of like how the new PS5. If you want to use that add-on disk drive, it has to be that new component. Hence why they're probably changing the South Bridge for that communication, so it can recognize that.
Right on. Shout out to Spartan661 again with a $5 super chat. Says, I'm sorry, but this leak looks like Xbox made love to someone, and I'm swooned. The lineup is impressive. I'm sure that their decisions are chaos. Yeah, there's probably been scrambling around like chickens with their head cut off since last night, trying to figure out.
They said that the Series X that's going to possibly be in the design lab, so I don't see them phasing that out yet.
Right. Improves sustainability story. This all talks about power consumption and stuff like that.
I don't care about
that.
Yeah. Kill the environment.
So I kind of looked up Horn Company.
Okay.
So they are a distributor, supplier, manufacturer of specialty ingredients, raw materials, chemicals. The company's products include coatings, elastomers, resins, adhesives, composites, and cosmetics and things like that. So it could be.
So they're just getting materials or something.
Right.
Yeah, because they're going eco-friendly, so they're probably going to utilize that on, so they can be more eco-friendly green company than they have been already. So it's,
Yeah. And then the
using
Fang
less
Wong
resins
is the one that's really interesting me here because I don't know if that's a code name or what, right? But
that could be for China, they don't have things in place for that kind of waste and material. So this could be with them, in being, hey, this is what we like, and to
what
go
did it
forward.
say underneath Fang Wong?
It was talking about regrind and mitigate obsolescence, is what it was talking about. So I don't know.
What does that mean?
It seems like repurposing to me, it's trying to keep things from being obsolete. Maybe keep things current and modern. I don't know, man. Regrind.
I guess since it's supposed to be like the Phoenix, it's taking something repurposed, maybe old controllers.
Yeah, Phoenix rising out of the ashes. I don't know.
I guess if Wang or where the fuck it was, maybe it's like a recycle company. They're going to recycle a bunch of old stuff so they can. Because on that next thing, it showed they're going to use 70% of the Series S tools that they already have to make the new Series S.
Right. Yeah. Don't know.
I feel like we figured it out somewhat.
Yeah, maybe Fang Wong is an internal plan, not necessarily
to recycle controllers and stuff.
Don't know. All right. Okay. So then we have Elwood, which is a Series S refresh, we just got a Series S refresh.
Where's Jake?
But this one actually has the faster. Did the new one that they just came out with have the faster Wi-Fi and stuff?
No. No, the new one they just came out with is black and has 1 terabyte.
Okay, so this one says $299, which is interesting. It says 1 terabyte, but
if the new Series S has a USB-C on the front, it might. I don't know.
Yeah. Anybody got a new 1 terabyte Series S? Has it got a regular USB on it, or?
It's a regular one.
Okay.
Okay, then it's not.
So this would just be an updated version of what they have now.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it would probably still be $349 instead of what this says at $299, unless they're able to drop the price.
Yeah, I just don't know. That price could be the old price before they raised it.
Yeah.
Last month or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, and that's what again, these are old, right? So it's it's hard to say exactly what the plans are.
or you could they are reducing the price, so maybe the Series S that's 250 or 300 could be 250. So it could be that because Sony is lowering their price. So
I don't think it'll be 250 with them just raising the other one to 350 with the 1 terabyte.
They had a document where it showed like their Black Friday plans was $199 for the Series S.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. That's when they got to.
No, I'm not saying this is going to be 250. I'm saying the original Series S could be like 250 or Jasper saying 200.
Are the 349 ones out there right now? So replacing the existing ones? Or are they selling both?
No, they're side by side. I have not gotten any newer Series S's in. I've only gotten the black 1 terabyte.
Yeah, I mean, again, but you're gonna have to go through your old stock before you ever really notice it.
Well, that's what I mean. Are you only going to be getting those ones now and not the old ones? You know?
I don't know. I just have one. I sold 3 the old white Series S. I sold 3, and I have not received any more in. It's been about 2 weeks, so
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just, but I did get another shipment of the black 1 terabyte Series S's.
Yeah, so I think they're phasing the 512 out.
Yeah.
Right?
And then Amit Kumar makes a good point. He says this document was from May 2022, I think. This was before Starfield and Redfall got delayed. They might have pushed up the Series S 1 terabyte to get it out when Starfield launched.
But according to internal emails that were also leaked, this was around the time that Phil also had emailed Matt Booty to talk to him about the disaster of 2022.
I'm glad they mentioned
it seemed like they were kind of aware around this time, at least from Phil's perspective. Cute perspective with the $2 super chat says this Microsoft document taking Sony Spider-Man 2 hype. That's interesting. It has kind of happened, right? There's less talk about Spider-Man now.
I mean, the game's still like a month out, isn't it?
Was there a showcase?
You didn't. Yeah, you didn't see
a couple days
the
ago.
showcase place?
I seen the Spider-Man 2.
But you didn't miss much.
Okay.
They showed Spider-Man 2. They showed Final Fantasy Rebirth, and then they showed a bunch of other stuff. And
did they show that one game that people keep bragging about? It's
Steps?
like the Japanese game.
No.
Home Stars?
They didn't. Stellar Blade.
No. Stellar Blade.
No, that was missing. So
yeah, amongst a lot of other things.
Was that supposed to come out this year? Or was that?
It's kind of up in there.
It was supposed to come out. They had originally said 2023, but no.
Okay, I know this is nothing on topic, but I will say, the Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. The fucking release date, at least with my store, it is January 1st, 2020 or 2030.
Are you supposed to be saying this right now?
No, it is because you can I can print out a list and you can get it. January 1st, 2030.
2030.
That sounds like a placeholder date.
Yeah, that's a placeholder because I'm pretty sure. Didn't they say the date was like May or some shit? What?
I don't know if they said a new date.
Internally delayed.
To 20 what? 2020 what?
30.
Oh, that's
2030.
That's
a
right.
placeholder.
Yeah, that's not a real thing. Yeah,
Just saying.
No way.
Yeah, they didn't delay Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League to 2030.
7 years.
We're gonna wait till
7
Xbox's 10-year plan is over.
Yeah, that's just some random.
Games come out in 2100, bro. It says it in my computer.
Hey, I will say,
it happens to be on New Year's Day, the day that the stores are closed.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine if it actually comes out in 2030. We laugh at this guy.
I will say that I'm a little upset that you guys didn't pick up on my Blues Brother reference there with the whole L. That's when I said Jake because you said Elwood.
Oh yeah,
that was the Blues Brothers. Talos Re is the only one that got it. So
I heard it, but I didn't get it because I didn't care.
I was like, "Where's Jake?" So yeah, sorry.
All right,
it's fun pop. I brought in movies. Sorry.
I'm mad that Xbox spelled Brooklyn this way.
So basically, this is everything the same as the Series X, except it's the Series S, $299 is what they said, but I'm guessing $349. But we'll see. And here we go. Here's the controller.
This thing looks like shit.
I gotta say, I hate the black stripe on the bottom.
Yeah.
What did you do? Dip it in rubber?
It looks like they just
put
took Stadia controllers and fucking put an Xbox badge on it. It's fucking garbage looking.
Is the profile any different than my controller now?
Maybe if it went along the side, it will look a little bit better. But
no, it's
weird.
It's the same exact profile.
It looks like it's like thinner, like from top to bottom. I don't know. It's just like
I'm trying to get the scale right. I'm literally like holding my controller up to the screen, like to see if like it's exactly the same. It might be a little different, actually. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, it looks skinnier.
Well, they moved the share button in the closer up in between.
That's
the
good.
thumbsticks look kind of different.
They did, yeah. It looks slightly. I mean, it looks slightly.
The handles look like rounder and longer or something. I don't know.
But they dipped it. It looks like they dipped it in rubber and was like, "Yep, here's a new design."
Here's the thing: if this is not changed, I would advise them to change it because it's also got that glossy finish on it, which I hate that shit. Like it's gonna be so dirty and stuff so fast. There's no color on the buttons either, which I actually like having the green, blue, white, yellow, and red. And so I'm assuming this is just a prototype mock-up. It's not like accurate, but we'll get into the features. I think the features of it are probably going to be more accurate, right? So, Xbox Wireless 2 is what they're calling it. I
think we already have that.
Ubiquity is that what? I don't know if that's a code name or if they're just talking about use of it.
Oh
no, it's a ubiquity. What's the definition of ubiquity? Anybody?
It means.
Don't ask me.
Ubiquity. Somebody smart in the chat. Tell me. I'll Google it. Ubiquity.
The fact of appearing everywhere or of being very common.
Okay, so play anywhere basically is what they're. But the ability to use it anywhere. The ability to use it everywhere basically. So you got direct to cloud. You got Bluetooth 5.2, Xbox Wireless 2. Seamless pair and switch, new mobile app experiences, C-paired devices and cloud, managed devices and accessories. You got feel the game, precision haptic feedback. I don't care about that really. VCA haptics.
Oh, this has haptic feedback.
Double as speakers, which is interesting. So those
speakers inside. Wait, what?
I guess it's got speakers.
So VCA doubles as speakers.
I guess
probably what Sony has. It has that. You know how it makes some noises sometimes. It looks like it sounds like
lift to wake. This is pretty cool.
Do they have a blow feature where I can blow my controller and get it to do things?
No, but
accelerometer, quieter buttons and thumbsticks. Sustainability says do good, feel good. Rechargeable and swappable battery.
Nice.
Is that,
like that.
So? Is that like
PlayStation's controllers?
I think it's just a play and charge kit, pretty much going to be included with it.
Recycled materials and less resin. Repair and disassembly. Durable and reliable. New modular thumbsticks.
Quieter buttons.
Improved longevity. Continued build improvements.
That's
probably why it looks like that.
New modular thumbsticks, so you're gonna be able to replace your thumbsticks.
So you can pull that faceplate off.
Oh,
yeah.
Swap out your. That's why it looks like that.
Oh, well, if that's the reason, then hey, I'm all for it, right? If that's the reason that it has that ugly ass look, then go for it. I mean, I would rather.
Yeah, I just got to spend $10 every 6 months on thumbsticks now instead of buying a whole new controller. So I guess that's better.
That's an improvement there. I'm down for that, right? Approachability. Here's what it says: engage and delight, lift to wake. So you lift it up and it turns on your controller.
That's pretty dang cool.
That is super awesome.
You know, that sounds cool until it doesn't fucking work.
Until you put it on your bed, shut the controller off, and then like you end up moving your feet and like.
Well, if it's only on wake, and I'm sure you can turn it off.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could turn that option off. That's still pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that though. That's something that should have been for a while. So we'll see. Familiar Xbox feel. So same ergonomics. So it's gonna feel the same. Same layout and activation forces. SE, LE, XDL options as expected. So it's got the Xbox Design Lab. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So hey, cool. And I think it's like standard edition, limited edition, and Xbox Design Lab options.
I don't like
Right.
how skinny it is, but other than that, that's a lot of cool features
Yeah.
in there. Someone was saying they could play music through the controller or something.
Mav,
Yeah.
Pretty
What?
cool.
What?
go back to that one slide where it showed the Xbox. Where is it? No, yeah, no.
So here's a black version of that one. You can tell it's well. I don't know. Can you? Yeah, it's got the same weird like little grippy things on the bottom, but it doesn't have the share buttons. So.
Yeah, I don't know that's.
Oh, but this is the new one. The core is the new one. This is Sebel because of the share button. Look, it's in the middle. So these are the new controllers. You got core, premium, and elite. A new is this? This is a new elite controller.
Yes.
Oh, zoom in on.
No, it's a different tier because the core is going to be a $60 controller. The premium is going to be a $70 controller where you can connect to any device or whatever. And then the elite's the $250.
I know you don't see the screen. I'm showing the back of the other slide.
Oh,
the pictures they have here was of the newer controllers on this slide. So
yeah, it has a little dip thing in it.
You got the core, the premium, and then the elite.
The elite already has the button in the middle, though.
Does it? Is this the same?
Yeah, the elite that already has the button in the middle because that's how you switch your profiles on your elite controller.
Yeah, but is it that one looks like
this one looks different though? Right?
That has the share button. And
I think it's just the image. It's not. I think the new controller is the premium controller.
No, I'm saying
no.
But there's because
the new one doesn't show those start button and share button on that. So
yeah, but it has the stupid like half rubber grips instead of the full elite rubber grips, and it's the fucking
the share button controller on this picture. This is a different looking elite controller than the current elite controller we have now. The picture of this elite controller is different than the current elite controller. So I think this is they're showing the new core, the 3 tiers of the new controller: the core, premium, and elite. And the elite would be the new elite controller.
Yes.
So this might be the first. This might be the first glimpse of the actual new elite controller here, because this is the existing elite controller here, which if you see on GameStop, it's got the share button, and the share button there is in between the two, right?
Yeah, because that is actually the mapping button, the profile button, I should say, that one.
Right.
So on the GameStop, that's the profile, and this one looks like the share button is in the middle, where how the core looks like.
Right.
And then the program button is probably either just above it or below it to switch your profile.
Yeah. So they're basically they'll make an elite version of the new controller, right?
Yeah, and I doubt you'll see much. Like you're not going to get like 3 levels trigger locks. I think it's just going to be them changing it so it looks the same, but that center button's still not going to be a share button. That center button's going to be the switch profile button still. They're just retooling. They're just retooling the faceplate of it. The faceplate of it.
Right. We'll see. What did you want me to look at, Psycho?
So it was a slide that had the names of it was back more. It had like the Xbox Design Lab. It was showing where the fuck is it? Where the hell was it? Did I see that in our DMs?
Yeah, I don't think I've gotten to that yet.
I'm thinking of. Oh, okay. That's what I'm thinking. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no problem.
Let me. Oh.
So we have gotten past the controller, and now we're on to mid-gen goals. Delight. You hear Phil use this all the time. Delight players, right? It says all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Says increased storage on Series S. Basically, this is to customer feedback. Rechargeable, removable controller battery. XDL for consoles. Updated controller with increased immersion. So that's the better controller, which he's hinted at the past he wanted to do. He liked haptics and stuff. So you got the controller. You got Design Lab for console. You got the controller basically comes with like a play and charge kit, whatever. And then increased storage on the Series S, which they've already done.
And I think the Design Lab for consoles may be one of the things that could have changed again with that new wrap system that they're doing. We'll see though.
Yeah.
Maybe that was their way of.
It could have been an answer about it,
kinda-
right?
Well, it's the next slide. I just looked. So
Okay. Maintain technology leadership and innovation. All new Series X design. All digital ecosystem. Up to 80% reduced power and standby. Blah blah blah. Wi-Fi 6 for faster downloads. Enable rich game experiences. Direct cloud controller. Get into games quicker with extra throughput lanes or whatever, IO lanes, and then reduce developer friction. Faster controller charging via front USB port, drive growth plus competitiveness on console, MSRPs and distribution flexibility, multiple storage options for broader access. That sounds intriguing. And hopefully more storage options, please.
Maybe like when they were talking about the different like Feng, Huang, and Horn, those are the different distribution.
Probably.
Things.
You'll get refreshed ID plus more sustainable materials, and then Bluetooth radio enables more 3P accessories. Third party accessories. Yeah, thanks. Okay, this is I'll skip this slide. Like
that's just
this person's got literal like fucking weeds going through their Xbox, and like I don't care what they say.
It's the mid-gen device lineup.
That's my Xbox right now. Playing.
No, that's how you gotta help the planet. Your Xbox is gonna be a plant pod now.
Yeah, it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow weed. It'll be Psycho's favorite.
See, this is the calendar I was talking about. This slide it
Okay,
shows the actual like months.
Okay, so launch timelines, right? Xbox Gaming Beat. Well, I don't know what that means. Xbox Gaming Beat, but anyway, Sybil launch would be on.
That's the controller.
June,
E3.
like right before June of next year, right? And you can see this is where the fiscal year starts right here, right at July, at the end of June, beginning of July. So you have the controller launch right before June, end of May. You have a mid-gen console announcement happen at E3, right? It's right there around E3 time. And Brooklyn announced simultaneously. Then at the end of August, you would have the Series S launch. And then at the
that's your E3 announcement, pretty much right there.
Right. And then at the end of October, you would have the Series X launch, the new Series X. And then also it says sometime in this window, additional storage options announced, available in fiscal year 25 H2. So second half of fiscal year 2025, which would mean like early in 2025. Early in 2025.
And I don't know if that could mean additional third-party manufacturers for hard drives, or it could just mean like you get 4 terabyte expansion cards or something like that.
Yeah,
which I think that's probably more like what that means is.
Or it could be storage options on the actual consoles.
But they're increasing the storage options already.
Yeah, but what if they announce later that they're going to have more options available of different, like, okay, here's a 3 terabyte version, or
so they're gonna launch a 2 terabyte in November, and then next November here's a 3 terabyte.
Well, I don't know. I'm just reading what they said. It says storage options announced, so I don't know if they mean storage options for console or if it just means like devices, like external.
Well, they still haven't done the expansion cards, right? So I'm assuming
there's just Seagate and Western Digital.
There's those two. So maybe that's what they mean.
Yeah. Or there could be a whole other solution that they have. Who knows? It says 60-day plus separation between launches enables dialogue with different audiences. Basically, they're trying to separate the Series S audience from the Series X audience, I guess. I don't know necessarily know why. But
it could be a holiday like game lineups. Try to like there could be a September game that they want to push, and then a November game.
Right. It says allows us to focus on new improvements in the controller, tells stories beyond console, direct to consumer or direct to cloud. I mean, so they're gonna really push and talk about the controller, direct to cloud aspect and stuff. Adds value to Brooklyn and Elwood at announcements. So they're talking about if they do the controller first, it's going to add value to those announcements. Gives the Series S its own moment earlier in the holiday time frame to maximize sales, just like you said, Jasper. It says last chance Edith 512. So this is the original Series S. They're gonna have last chance to get it at $199. It's Black Friday offer before end of life. So that's looking to potentially get a $200 Series S in the future. That's going to be a good deal.
Yeah.
So,
you can still. That doesn't mean they're not ending the original Series S. They're just ending the 512 one. You can still get the black one.
right. So that's 2024.
Yeah.
End of 2024. You'd be able to get that $200 for $200. Starkville end of life ahead of Brooklyn launch. What is Starkville? Is that the original Series X?
I'm assuming that's the original Series X name.
I thought it was
No, that was like
something else, but
like a Starkville.
Well, they could have changed the code name. They could have like different code names for like internal or something. I don't know.
And then we got Brooklyn arrives just in time for the gifting season, but separate from Elwood. So, they'll really push that discless Series X.
It's some sort of Series X.
Yeah. And again, all this could be changing. All the dates could be changing. All of the consoles themselves, all this could be changed. This is just what we know at the time that they had planned, right? Or that they were promoting or talking about, right, in this presentation.
And I have a theory now that once we get to this next slide about the new console and what I saw. So I think I have an idea of what they're doing.
Right. So this is the next slide. It says mid-gen devices lineup delivering on player needs, right? You got the Series S, the Elwood. You got the Series X, the Brooklyn. The Series X and the Xbox Design Lab.
Yep.
Then you got the Xbox Universal Controller, and then the controller and Design Lab. So there's no Series S in Design Lab. It just looks like the Series X and the controller and Design Lab.
And my thought, remember when I said it looks like the front face of the new console is curved and then the sides were flat? I'm thinking is what they're doing is going back to the 360, a face that you can pull off and snap on for the new console. Because if you look, the buttons are perfect. They're just the three. You got the power right in the center, and then the sync, and that's it. And then you have your USB-C, and that's it. And then so I think that face plate comes off, and you can change it into Design Lab, if that's how they can get around doing Design Lab. So they can do face plates how they did with 360, and then you can do whatever. Then the console, they don't have to mess with the console itself, just that faceplate. Because the faceplate looks round, but the sides look flat.
Yeah, interesting. Who knows? Right now, it's like gonna be.
If it's like a wrap around that,
it almost looks like kind of like a triangle, but like the bottom is like a curve, so it's like a cone shape or whatever.
No clue. But yeah, this is all the same information that we talked about, right? So that's all there. No point really going into it again, except if you want to know how many USBs and shit there are. It says here there's one USB-C and two USB-As on the Series X's. There's 3 USB-As on the Series S. So the Series S,
they are getting rid of this drive.
It's weird that only says that doesn't say USB-C on the Series S.
Yeah.
Is that
because they're still using the new Wi-Fi and Bluetooth though? So
yeah, but the picture up here, look, is that a USB-A or C?
It was still that. I'm pretty sure that's just a picture of the fucking white Series S we have now.
It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
Because if it's a C, it's a lot smaller, so it could be an A.
Yeah,
I don't know. That looks like
it looks like a C on the front. I don't know. Anyway, that's just what it says. Who knows? It'd be weird for them to switch to a C on the new Series X, but not on the Series S. Honestly.
Yeah, because that's how you're going to charge your controller now.
Yeah,
unless that's old. That's why he said that things change, and that could be one of the changes.
Yeah, everything else is the same except for the USB-C Series S. All right, so we got this mid-gen fiscal year 2025 to 2027 scenarios. There's different scenarios, right? Deliver full Fairhaven vision, whatever the fuck that means. New storage options, refreshed ID, fully featured Sybil bundled in.
The This is just their like investment scenarios. I think it's not like
right.
They're giving you like their positive option and their negative option.
Yeah, they're saying that if we don't do this, this is how much less money we're gonna make, right?
Yeah.
So they're promoting. It seems like maybe a presentation to like internally, like this is what we should do. This is what we want to do or whatever, right? Direct to cloud, enabling growth in cloud endpoints. Pared down. Oh yeah, we're gonna save some money, but we're gonna make this much less. So anyway, here's the other slide you were talking about, Jasper. This is what is interesting because it says current gaps. So we got to read this right, okay? So current gaps in fiscal year 2023 to reach the 2030 goals. So right now,
you read from funded and up, or
you read from funded and up, because funded right now is like what they have funding for and what they're planning on doing, right? And what they want to do is everything in the triangle, but part of it
and this is from now until 2032. You gotta keep that in mind. This is not just this year. This is from now until 2030, their plans.
So it looks like based on the funding, they're saying, well, this is like our portfolio expansion, audio portfolio expansion, like all this stuff. We need more like funds, to be able to make this happen. The new Elite controller, a luxury controller, console customization via XDL, PC accessories, accessibility portfolio, new cloud server blades, repairability, sustainability progress. It seems like it says not currently funded, resourced. So maybe it's in the process, but they haven't gotten it done yet or whatever. And then it said not in scope for first party in the top tier, which included the handheld, that mobile controller, a media remote, and earbuds, which it seemed like that's like their end goals, but like the furthest away is how I look at this, from them being able to achieve doing it based on current funding and stuff like that.
I mean, it's also like it says not in the scope for first party, so that doesn't mean that they're not going to necessarily invest in that. They could like sign a deal with Asus for a handheld, like put Xbox on Asus or whatever, like in that. Yeah, they could still have like a handheld market. It's just they wouldn't be doing it themselves.
It's confusing seeing the slide after you see all this other stuff that has like that our plan is to do this in Design Lab. And it's like, oh, but that's not currently funded or sourced, right, or resourced, right? So it's like, well, so is your plan to do this Design Lab or not, right? And not in scope for first party, but it says current gaps. They're looking at, and it seems like a presentation. This is what's keeping us from being able to achieve this. This is what, like, it seems like almost like this is a presentation of like trying to sell people on this is what we need to do, like to achieve our goals, right? So we don't know what this was necessarily used for. Like what we have is the information at the top. This was from Ashley McKissick. And
this is so weird though, because like, why would they at the top that says not funded mobile controller, but why wouldn't the new Sybil controller just be their mobile controller?
I think they're talking about the one you attach to your phone, like on the sides, like a backbone type controller. Right.
Yeah, there's no fucking reason for them to make one. Fucking Razer does that for them.
Exactly.
Spartan661 with the $2 says, "Someone is fishing. We will buy what we want." Yeah, I feel like
people are upset in chat because they're going away from disc, and like we said, like they could offer a disc drive just like Sony is. Just because they're not mentioning it, doesn't mean they're not going to offer it if that's their plan. Because if enough people have
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't offer it the way.
Unless Sony is being a prick about it because they own the Blu-ray technology and be like, you bought ABK? Guess what? No Blu drive for you fuckers.
And then Sony's going to be like, oh, we lost $100 million fucking dollars this year on disc drive sales. It's like, well,
they don't give a shit.
This is the most confusing slide for me out of all of them, like because I don't know the intention of it, right?
Some of it makes sense, like new cloud servers in the middle tier, not currently funded / resource. That's not going to matter until they get the next gen consoles out anyway. They're not going to be able to put the next gen console server blades until they got a next gen console out. So,
right. The not in scope for first party, the handheld, man. Come on, get it in scope. Whatever you got to do, get it in scope. All right. So open items, watch list. This is interesting. It's a Sybil full production vision not currently approved due to GM percentage. What is a GM percentage? Gross market percentage, maybe?
Sybil full product vision not currently approved. So that means you could have cut features, like maybe that wake feature.
Either that or the up tier versions of it, potentially.
Yeah, that, or you could have your
right.
Yeah, the elite version of the design.
Which one was Sybil?
That's just the new code name for the new controller design.
Oh, okay.
What is somebody in the chat? What's GM percentage mean? Is that gross market or? Don't know.
Someone was saying in chat that a lot of this slide or all these slides are Xbox kind of pitching to Microsoft for more funding.
Right. That's how I'm kind of looking at it. It's like, okay, this is like
That's
our
kinda
plan.
what
This is what we need to do. Like, it's like they have to present stuff with their financials and like a plan. It seems like, okay, this is our plan. Now, like, they're going to ask for funding for everything that they want to do, but maybe not get all of it. Who knows exactly? But that's what I take it as anyway. So
gross margin.
Gross margin percentage, yeah. Gross margin, not market, right? Okay. So basically, they got to have a certain margin on the controllers, right, to be able to get it approved. So,
yep.
Right. Okay. So launch timing for Sybil.
Just make a fucking green camo controller. I'm sure that will fucking sell though.
Yeah. Launch timing for Sybil and Elwood. Gaming devices plus xCloud direct to cloud. So launch timing is on a watch list, so they get delayed everything. So we'll see. USB front port inconsistencies on consoles impacts accessories cable. So does that mean they're having issues with the USB-C on the front of the prototypes potentially?
Either that or the current consoles. I'm not sure.
Right.
The USB is not properly.
Because this is just like their things,
or where the placement of it, maybe in a factory.
That they need to look at to fix.
Yeah,
I guess
maybe like a lot of USB-C cables weren't fitting into it based on the size of like the nubs on them or whatever. Who knows? Yeah.
I'm just guessing, like when they're making the systems, like the USB is slightly in different places, so they want to like in the very front of the console or something, and they're just trying to make sure it's consistent with that new circular model.
Right. So the way I take this is like, here's some little issues that we're watching. Right. It says first party game content moment, time with release still TBC, to be continued. I don't know what TBC means. So basically they would time the release with the big first party game probably, right? Of the console. So they don't know where
to be confirmed.
To be confirmed. Thank you. Yes. Hey, you guys are awesome. Thank you for the help. To be confirmed. 3-bit, you probably see some of this shit with some of your stuff you do for work. So,
yeah, some of it.
Elite controller, key product gaps. Elite controller category not funded. So that's the new elite controller. LRP at risk.
I don't know what that means.
Limited resources production.
I like how you're just seeing an L and you're like, I got to think of an L word.
Yeah. I don't know. Then
legally responsible person. I just looked it up.
Legally responsible person at risk? Really?
I don't think that's what that means.
I don't think. I mean, okay, maybe it's not that.
Liposuction, ridiculous.
Long range plan.
Porta potties.
Long range plan at risk. Yeah, that's
okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, long range plan. Yeah, long range plan at risk. Okay. Mid-gen personalization Xbox Design Lab console not funded. So they're basically saying that the new refreshes are currently don't have funding to do the Design Lab. Okay.
And I would say those two things are probably the most of being cut. If that's,
yeah.
I mean, why would you separate them like that? I guess.
So, like, their product gap of the XDL not being funded, it's pretty smart for them to do the cover.
Maybe that was the reason why they did that, right? Maybe that was, like you said, right? Which I'm happy with what they chose. I like.
So
I like
this
that.
document is kind of outdated in that aspect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is like 16 months old, everybody. So
yeah, so a lot of the stuff could have changed.
GLT feedback on devices. It says next steps. GLT feedback on devices approach. So, get legit team feedback on devices approach. I don't know. 2 would be follow up with Phil and Tim on priorities and resources. So I got to follow up with the big hot honcho and Tim guy on priorities and resources. And 3, finalize go forward roadmap and kick off collaboration works with teams. So that they're just lining up the next steps, and then we got this. Thank you, you all rock. In different you got thank you in a bunch of different languages here to end it off. So that was the main slide. There was a lot of emails and stuff that were shared.
There was some there were some other slides that were coming. I don't know where they were coming from, but
well,
there's some interesting.
There's the game one. That's we're gonna get to next.
I was talking about there's one that had like the actual it had a bunch of blocks. It almost looked like an editing bar, like a video editing thing, and it showed like get third-party feedback on next-gen consoles, start producing next-gen consoles, release third-party or next-gen consoles, and like get third-party testing, stuff like that. I don't know where that came from, but
right. Here's I'm gonna open this image here.
Jasper, is that true?
Is
the DM
to 10 million?
Yeah.
Starfield just hit 10 million gamers.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yep.
This today? Right now?
They announced it today. They announced it probably to distract everybody from the leaks. Part of it, but also it is a big moment for them. I need to save this as a different file so that way I can bring it up bigger.
That's pretty crazy when you think about it, because people before Starfield came out, they were like, it's not going to pass Final Fantasy. Game Pass is going to hinder the sales, all this different stuff, or the player count, or I don't know. They were saying a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool that it's still pretty high, and it was on the top of the Steam charts even before the game came out. So those people bought the game because that was the premium edition. So it was like at the top of the Steam charts with the premium edition, the $100 version of the game. So they are making money, making some dough.
So all that stuff is crazy, right? All of that stuff was like, whoa, what? Like, this is crazy. After we get to see this stuff, who knows how much of that has changed? But the most exciting thing that we got leaked was this list, because you have a list of video games from ZeniMax Bethesda here. And you have a release schedule of planned Xbox releases or in mobile and more from ZeniMax Bethesda, right? And this goes what we've already seen release, because you have fiscal year 2020, 21, and all this stuff, right? You had like your Ghostwire Tokyo, you had Fallout 76, you had Doom Eternal stuff, you had Redfall, which you see it was originally fiscal year 2021 end that got pushed back. So was Starfield. I feel like those were like
all this is like a year or two behind.
Yeah, I feel like they like missed like a year and a half to 2 years pretty much on a lot of this stuff. Project Hibiki might be Hi-Fi Rush potentially.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
I'm thinking that's what it is. So you have a lot of this stuff now. Obviously, we see that originally Indiana Jones was planned for fiscal, and this may be from a different time. I don't know when they made this list, right? Fiscal year 2022 end was originally supposed to be Indiana Jones game, so that would have been originally
Summer this year.
June this year, right?
Yeah.
Roughly. Oblivion Remaster was originally supposed to be June this year. Elder Scrolls Online expansion, another one, which may have hit target. I don't remember. Was there a big Elder Scrolls Online expansion?
Well, I mean, they have they had the Necromancer one or whatever. So, like, there's an Elder Scroll expansion every year. So that may be the only thing that's actually still on track.
Yeah, because there's one the year before also. So it's hard to keep track on that. And there's one the year after and the year after and all that stuff, right? So,
Fallout Worlds is out.
Fallout 76.
I know, but is that DLC Fallout Worlds?
I don't know exactly. It has Fallout 76 in parentheses. I'm guessing it's something to do with
Fallout 76 already came out, so that has to be like
DLC.
Yeah, it's DLC. We got
Fallout
that.
Worlds is DLC. And then And in Project Wonder and Ubu, I don't think Bethesda has released any mobile games that I could think of.
So Calorie
released the Doom game. The Doom mobile game.
Maybe that's one.
So Calorie said that this was like Xbox's pitch to buy Bethesda, basically their release schedule. So this would have been back in
2019, 2020.
No, it'd been 2021, right? Or 2020. When did they announce?
Because they bought Bethesda in 2020, so I would assume they would approach them before then. And the physical year is 2020 on there.
Yeah, 2020. I think,
and that would have been 2019 because the fiscal year would have been 2020.
Okay, so 2020. We're guessing 2020. So September 2020 is when this came out. The chat's helping, so because I have different files and stuff, and I don't have everything in front of me. All right, so this is very old, right? And we've seen them hit certain ones of these games. You can tell, that targets are way off, right?
Starfield DLC.
Indiana Jones could be a year away, could be 2 years away, for all we know. But there's games on here that we don't know about. There's games on here that were rumored, but not mentioned. Could be canceled, could be ongoing, who knows? But based on other information here, it looks like most of the stuff is probably on track or for actually being a game. Oblivion Remaster, Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remaster. Now, internally when they're making this, could they just like interpret remaster, remake, not the same? Who knows exactly, right? But they use the word remaster for two different games here, and don't know exactly how much effort that means they're going to put into it. But Elder Scrolls Oblivion is one of my favorite games. I love it. Before Starfield, it was probably my favorite Bethesda game. And this is listed here for Oblivion Remaster, which was heavily rumored. Super exciting for me. Anybody else excited about that?
Yeah. Heck yeah. I do wonder to what extent it'll be remastered, but
I mean, I've seen teams and use the terminology.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of remaster we're talking here. That's where it comes down to, and we won't know until they show it.
And also, the plans on that could have changed at the time. Yeah, they just had Quake 2 remastered come out.
So if it's to that level, I'll be pretty happy. They did a pretty good job on Quake. So
I don't know what I don't remember what team did that. I'm talking about Bethesda as the publisher has had, but yeah, I don't know if
I guess
I mean they did Skyrim Anniversary. Yeah, that's got a huge update.
So that was so maybe to that extent it would be like some texture upgrades, some.
Then I don't going from a fucking 2005 game and just doing a texture update is gonna still be shit. You're gonna have to put some work into that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is pretty old now.
Chris Jones with the $2 says, "Hail Sithis." Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you, bro. So we got Starfield DLC. We already know about that because it's part of the premium edition or whatever, right?
But that's interesting that it comes almost a full year after the game comes out, though.
Yeah, that's kind of expected for me.
But I mean, I think that the DLC's moved up like now because we already know what the title of the DLC is, and we've already paid for it with the premium edition. So I would assume the DLC is going to probably come out like pretty early next year.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so too. Or maybe they'll wait for E3. That's a pretty good E3 drop for next year.
Yeah, but that's still like 9 months away. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like, it wouldn't surprise me even if it was a year out. Like, it really wouldn't.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Doom Year Zero. What the hell is that? Cool. What the hell is Doom Year Zero?
It's Doom.
I know that.
But in the year 0.
Technically, they can't make a Doom 3. Oh, they can make a Doom 3, but just how Doom Eternal ended, it makes sense to go
I would
back.
assume that it's probably something like Doom Year 0, like since the world's fucking ended or whatever, like it's a restart on the calendar. It's like all the civilizations got to restart the fucking dates because the fucking world ended or whatever, you know? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, like just the way it ended, it just I guess it makes sense to do a prequel.
Not even a prequel. I'm just saying, like, or you can do like biblical stuff where it's like every 1,000 years or whatever, like God's supposed to rule, and then like 7 years the devil's supposed to rule, and it like restarts or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, that could work too.
So prequel, so.
Not necessarily prequel, just
prequel.
Prequel.
The world starts over, Mav.
Prequel. Free to play. Free to play mobile stuff. I'm not really going to go over. It's just project names, pretty much, and say how many planned titles they have. I could think of most of us could care less about that. But
Project Kestrel.
Yeah, Project Kestrel. Now Pong actually looked up Kestrel, right? And it has to do with birds.
Now this is some fucking tinfoil hat.
Yeah,
put on your tinfoil hats.
I gotta give him props to this. I like where he was going with it. Because it has to do with birds and shit, right? We already see Starfield DSC, and then there's the next year, okay? So it has to do with birds and stuff. Now, also, Kestrel was used as a name for one of the rockets for SpaceX in the past, which is interesting.
No, that's not what he said. He said that Kestrel is a bird of prey, and that SpaceX also uses a bird of prey as the name of the rockets, Falcon, and Elon Musk gave Todd Howard.
Looked it up myself. It was used it was the name of a rocket for SpaceX. Google it, motherfucker. I am right.
SpaceX?
SpaceX.
Oh.
So SpaceX made a rocket called the Kestrel?
SpaceX. Yeah, Kestrel. SpaceX Kestrel. The SpaceX Kestrel was an LOX RP-1 pressure-fed rocket engine. The Kestrel engine was developed in the 2000s.
I'm just reading what fucking Pong wrote in the DMs. I'm not reading the bullshit research.
You second guess me, motherfucker. You're gonna get called out. I was right.
Fucking wrote. He said it's a common fucking name given to birds of predatory birds from the Falcon genus Falco. Falcon 9 is a particularly reasonable rocket from fucking SpaceX. That's what fucking Pong wrote.
Kestrel was used in SpaceX. Anyway, so Kestrel has ties to rocket engines in space. Now, coming from Pong, led me on this path. And he also, what if we already know.
I'm just wondering where this is going.
We already know ZeniMax Online, right? And this is Pong Soul's Mayor of Speculation Town speculation. We already know ZeniMax Online is making a new big game, right?
Yes,
what if Kestrel is ZeniMax Online's MMO and it's Starfield MMO? Project Kestrel.
What if Project Platinum is actually that because they use platinum in the fucking rockets?
What if Todd Howard picked Kestrel because he's a space fan and he likes SpaceX shit?
Rockets.
And he
likes
Kestrel.
rockets.
He also likes precious metals like platinum because it has value to him.
Project Platinum is something else.
Hey, that would be cool if they did a Starfield MMO. Someone in the chat was saying Mandalorian and stuff because they still have the Star Wars license, right?
Well, they specifically say in another part a licensed IP game. So I don't think it's that because I think that Project Kestrel is something internal, and then they're gonna have a listed licensed IP game also. So,
but I guess that could be Indiana Jones or something else.
Indiana
something
Jones
besides.
is already listed here.
Okay, so So wouldn't it be like a Star Wars game, maybe?
The licensed IP game?
Potentially.
Don't know, but we're not there yet. We'll get to it. We also have Project Platinum. No clue what that
Kestrel is
is.
also used as the Millennium Falcon. It's the YT-1000 Kestrel light freighter.
Is that WD-40?
And that's also Falcon. Oh my gosh!
Oh, so it's Star Wars. It's Star Wars MMO. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe Project Kestrel is engine oil, the rocket ships.
I don't know.
I
think we're on the right track though.
That's
I feel like it's
Sorry.
either
so
either Star Wars or Starfield.
Who knows? It could have to do with birds, or it could have to do with rockets, or it could have to do with none of the above. But I like the speculation. Elder Scrolls Online expansion again, Project Platinum. That could be literally anything.
Project Kestrel expansion. They wouldn't do an expansion for Starfield, would they? If they did a Starfield MMO and then did an expansion,
Well, they do that for 76.
Would they do that? They did.
Yeah, they do that for 76 all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Elder Scroll Online, they do.
Okay.
Then we got Elder Scrolls 6, which originally, so look, we talked about this, we speculated about this before, about how long it would take for them to do Elder Scrolls 6 after Starfield. Their original plans was 3 years after Starfield. So if everything got pushed back by like a year and a half or 2 years or whatever, right?
We'll go 2 years.
Elder Scrolls 6 could still be 3 years away. If they miss this target by 2 years, it could be 2026, like we talked about last night. Yep. Very interesting. We may not have to wait as long for Elder Scrolls 6 as we thought. Then a Project Kestrel expansion? An expansion for Project Kestrel? And here's more speculation town shit for you guys to give fuel to the fire that this could be ZeniMax Online. What other games here are listed with expansions? It's Elder Scrolls Online are listed with expansions. And this would be 1 year after the release of Project Kestrel, which would lead to believe that it is ZeniMax Online's next game, and it's going to have its own expansion again the next year.
Can you go up to the first one? To the very... Okay. So Whirlwind and... Okay, some people in chat are saying Hi-Fi Rush is Kestrel.
No, I think Project Hibiki was Hi-Fi Rush.
That's what I thought. Like Project Hibiki is not Hi-Fi Rush, and then we don't know what Kestrel is.
Yeah. So, right, Project Platinum, Project Kestrel, Doom Year Zero, and DLC for it in 2023. Or it would be 2025, probably 2024, like 2024, 2025 at this point, right? And then we got this fiscal year 2024 ending, which was probably pushed to 2025, 2026, right? So Elder Scrolls 6, Project Kestrel expansion, a licensed IP game, which was also rumored before. Nobody knows who's making it, if it's Roundhouse or if it's ZeniMax Online or whoever, but the licensed IP game. This was something that ScorpÄ had talked about before as well, and it's very interesting. They're potentially making a licensed IP game over there at ZeniMax Online or at Bethesda, and who knows what the hell it could be, but it's not Indiana Jones.
Yes, it's interesting.
Fallout 3 remaster as well. That's really cool.
It's a shame. They should have done New Vegas.
Well, they didn't develop New Vegas.
I really like Fallout 3.
Yeah, Fallout 3 was great. The end game, there was no end game; it just ended, right? Then they update it later to add an end game to it. I can't remember.
They added some like Alien DLC and stuff.
Right. I think they added DLC that opened it up for end game after that, right? Another Elder Scrolls Online expansion, Ghostwire Tokyo sequel. It's planned. Who knows? That could be a casualty potentially. Like if the
that
first
might
game
get killed off.
If it didn't sell well enough for them, I don't know what their expectations are. I don't know what they wanted.
What's his name left?
The director is gone.
Yeah. So who knows with that? Sometimes sequels get greenlit, sometimes they don't.
Going to do a great job.
Dishonored 3. It's very interesting, a new Dishonored
game.
That's
cool.
Yeah, I could care less.
And then more Doom Year Zero DLC. Holy shit, right? I mean, highlights: Fallout 3 remaster, Oblivion remaster. You got the Starfield
These
expansion, which we already
years
know about, so it's not really high. The
are
Kestrel
way off.
Platinum licensed IP game. Yeah, because everything was delayed because of COVID for like a year and a half. Like,
Yeah.
if you look at fiscal year 2021 end, when this says for Starfield, that would have actually been June of 2022, right?
Yeah.
At that time, it was announced actually for 11/11/2022, so it had already been delayed internally by 6 months, roughly, right?
So they've actually
And then-
already delayed Elder Scrolls because that other document we got like last week said it was 26 or later, and this is would have it come out in 25. So we already know that Elder Scrolls has been delayed internal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm thinking it's 2026 probably, right? So it seems like this is 18 months off, right? Roughly about how much development time cost for Starfield, at least, as a good example. Redfall as well was about the same there, roughly. That's and so yeah, you're seeing a kind of a pattern to a year and a half difference with early release planning. Now this is again from 2020, right? Early release plans versus when the games actually hit. So if we take that same pattern, 18 months, right? You can apply that towards these games, right? Fiscal year 2024, and you can say that some of these games are going to potentially hit in 2026 for that are listed as 2024 end.
You think Indiana Jones is 2025?
Indiana Jones was supposed to be
In between
this summer,
Starfield and this DLC.
So I'm thinking into next year, maybe. It could be. It could be next year's holidays big game. Next holiday's big game.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Or next summer, like if it went more the way Redfall is about a year off, right? But
because what do we have next year? We have Hellblade, and then what is next year is Hellblade, and I guess that would be a nice closer to the year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's ultimately going to depend on how well that game is in production right now, and like if they got a lot of problems or issues going on, it could still be delayed another 2 years.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
that was fun looking at the list.
So Dave Weinholt says fiscal year 2021 would for Bethesda fiscal years January to December. I don't know if this was Microsoft talking about their own fiscal year with projections when they're making this list, or if they were using Bethesda's fiscal year. Because if you're talking about internally the roadmap, would they be talking about their own fiscal year or Bethesda's? With projections,
I would assume this was 2020.
I would assume it would be Bethesda's though, because Bethesda would have sent them the dates,
right? But do you expect that maybe they would have translated it to their own fiscal years for the understanding of their investors?
I feel like
no. For this
document, I don't think they would have translated. I think they would have had like a title at the top of the document saying this is Bethesda's fiscal year. It starts at yada yada, and then just done it that way. Because I think if you start translating it, you're going to lose like stuff in translation.
Right. Craziness. That's the biggest leaks. I mean, there's like a bunch of emails and stuff like that, like, and some other things. But I mean, that's really the.
It had all the Game Pass.
Yeah, and those
estimates and stuff.
Those were interesting. Like they projected to have to ask for $5 million for Starfield, or not for Starfield, for fucking Baldur's Gate 3. I think that price has gone up by now. Other games, it had like they expected to have to pay $300 million potentially for Jedi Survivor for Game Pass if they had done that at launch. But they said also like it wouldn't probably happen. EA wouldn't let it happen, right?
Yeah.
There was other examples on there, and then it had like other games that like listed like monthly prices, right, per month. That's how much it would cost to put it in Game Pass. It's interesting to see those projections of like what they expect to have to pay, right?
That the projections and then Xbox's like roadmap is the two damaging things out of this. Is the projections for Game Pass now that companies know what they can ask for, so it's going to be harder for a lot of third-party deals to go through because they've seen kind of the price range Microsoft's willing to pay, and then you have PlayStation can react to Xbox's roadmap, either start next gen earlier or whatever.
Yeah, so you mean like,
that way.
but I mean, do a lot of these companies already have kind of an understanding about this stuff though? Because they've already been working with Xbox for a while on the like. I don't know. I guess it could be like, well, why come their game's worth more than our game? Or what are you thinking about? Offering them more? You think?
Or they said that they couldn't go up that high, and it shows that they could have.
Yeah, I don't know.
You mean for what the companies were offering for Game Pass?
So like Gotham Knights, if they were only offered 50 million, we couldn't go up any more than that, and here it is. It says they can go up to 100 million.
Well, I just mean like more so that like, let's say you have like Gotham Knights, they're saying like, oh, they're getting paid 50 million. We saw that in your documents or whatever. So it's like, we think X publisher over here is like, well, we think our game's better than Gotham Knights. Why don't you pay us 60 million?
Yeah.
Well, then they don't go into Game Pass, and then
unless they're making a deal, I think how they're probably doing it is each company has an expectation for how much to approach Microsoft with. Like,
well, if the whole
I don't think there's a base price.
Xbox Game Pass core falls in their 3-bit, they can also say, well, how else are you going to reach almost 100 million subscribers? You can ask for more money, but what other place can you reach that those people can get their hands on it, play it, like it, could possibly buy your game when it comes out of Game Pass, versus you taking a risk on just straight sales, and you're at 5 million.
But a game like Gotham Knights, like that game, I don't think sold very well. I wonder. I don't think they would give them 50 million, would they?
That was just
hypothetical. This was also their estimate that they would have to pay to get it day and date in Game Pass, so they weren't sure what Gotham was going to sell anyway. And then they had community notes on the sides like, well, if we do get Gotham Knights, we won't get it on PC because they're behind in development time.
So that's probably why they're all just estimates, because a game could be estimated to be 50 million day one in Game Pass, but then it's trash.
Well, that's what they're estimating to have to pay to the publisher to get it in Game Pass.
Right. Okay. But yeah, because I seen wasn't GTA 5 like
that was like 12 million per month or some shit like that.
It wasn't very high compared to the other ones, I thought.
It was per month basis though. Whereas Gotham Knights was like 18 months or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're going to be paying GTA per month.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
I see.
But all the shark cards.
And the thing is about that list is like, it's less important to me because a lot of the things either did come true or didn't come true. It's already over and under the bridge now, right? Like,
yeah, I was just saying that I think that's a negative because now other companies know their negotiation,
right? For sure,
prices and ranges.
Which would be completely overshadowed today. Gotham Knights was announced to Game Pass. Well, it's like that actually happened today. Like Gotham Knights is coming to Game Pass. Everybody, like, yeah, it's a good game.
Pretty cool.
Like it's coming to Game Pass, PC, cloud, and
Payday 3.
Yeah, which we already knew about.
Payday 3 is a good one. Yeah.
And then the 10 million Starfield players, all this stuff. There are lots of things happening. Positive momentum for Xbox. This like league was like crazy though.
There's like, what can we put out today to fucking not get people to not look at the internet?
Right. Phil made comments as well, like talking about this stuff, and he had an internal memo that he put out to the employees and everything. And
I thought it was funny when all this stuff came out. You seen that he was just playing Starfield, kind of chilling on Xbox.
Yeah. So he's probably trying to mentally cope by I just need to play something. Like this is crazy. Yeah. How did we do this? Like it they admitted it was their fault, right? Like they took responsibility for it. There was a lot of people blaming the FTC at first. It wasn't the FTC. Some people thinking it was the courts. I was confused at first because everybody's saying it's the court's fault, it's the FTC's fault. I'm like, whose fault is it? Like, and some people are like, well, the courts put it out there. There was a lot of back and forth. Like one that saw Tom Warren come down and he like said something that was like, Xbox was responsible. Once he said it, I was like, okay, it's legit. And then Phil took responsibility as well, right? So it was in their documents that they were not supposed to have not redacted, and they accidentally had the wrong attachments to it and stuff like that, I think. And they made a mistake and put the files out. They have apologized too, like on the memo to their partners and stuff, because there's like sensitive information for some of them as well and some of this stuff. So, like, it's not a good look for Microsoft to have something like this happen, but it's always happens with these big court cases, man. Like, you always have stuff like this leak. But it was pretty crazy amount of stuff that's there. It's old stuff.
At least no one got caught shitting in the bed. So
yeah, at least it wasn't a Randy Pitchford situation with cocaine and porn and stuff. You know, like there's none of that, right? Honestly, the leaked emails that people are trying to say paint Phil as like an evil dictator type overlord of gaming, trying to control everything. It actually like paints him in a really positive light, like the way that he handles situations. His email to Matt Booty, like for 2022, when they realized, shit, we ain't gonna have anything this year, like putting there kind of like a rally cry, like we need to do better, you know. But this was before the announcements to the fans and stuff, right? Like he's like, this is a disaster. We can't have this. Like we really need to get with it and have a great lineup and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? He's talking to leadership team there, right? It kind of painted me as like Phil's a leader. Like people are criticizing him because he wants to buy Nintendo, right? Well, shit, like it's aspirations. He also put it like it's not likely to ever happen on there, but it would be an amazing thing, right? And you know, but I think people are reading too much into that, like acquisition talk of the conversation with emails and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
and Microsoft already
like,
said,
"How dare you?"
Well, he said on camera, we're not done. We're going to be looking for more companies, right? Of course he would like to buy Nintendo. Microsoft's already tried to do it numerous times in the past. In fact, when they first started, right? Like
this could have been a simple phone call. It's like, hey, Nintendo, man, are you willing to get bought for $100 billion? No, okay, hang up the phone. It's like that's all that could have been, and it's like, well, people were making whole fucking.
I think it's like him understanding it's not a reality situation, but hoping one day it could be, right? And
especially of how the court's been
he even encouraged not
and
any kind of hostile financial actions towards Nintendo to try and take them over. He actually said that would be a mistake, right? It's just like people are running with these like narratives. I saw Jez made a post kind of like put things into perspective. Another thing people are running with is because like in that same Game Pass document, right, where they're talking about funding, it says second run for like Baldur's Gate 3, and people are like, oh, they think Baldur's Gate 3 is a second class game or something like that, but like it literally means that it's coming to other platforms later. It like second run, it's like a industry term. And
they did have a release date on there for Baldur's Gate of 12/22, but that was placeholder because there's some other games on there that were 12/22 that
and it shows how old it is because it was like listed for Stadia, right? Like it was supposed to come to Stadia first and then other things, right? So interesting information here. Yeah, like I wonder how much we can really look into this and actually feel like we know the roadmap. Even what we just went and spent over an hour on looking through, there's questions to be had because we don't know what's funded, what's not, what's actually going to happen with it. Like if anything from there is actually going to
some things what we were reading, like this has already changed, you know, like the Xbox Design Labs that clearly seems to be changing with, like, instead of designing an entire Xbox and have it shipped to you, et cetera, you could just have a freaking thing that you slap on the front of it.
And I'm sure that that's so much more cost effective for them is to give you some fucking stupid fabric towel to wrap around your Xbox instead of just fucking like plastic. yeah,
they're gonna make profit on that for sure.
Yeah, that probably costs like probably $1 for them, or and then you sell it at like $50-$60. That's a huge profit margin for them. So I'm sure they're thinking about the things in this document and shifting their goals, especially that there was like the triangle of what is basically unattainable for them at the moment. It would be cool to see them have basically a Switch version of the Xbox, but only if it's native for me would I be like really excited for it.
Again, that was like the point that I saw everyone talking about today was the hybrid handheld console. It's not a hybrid handheld console. The hybrid part that people were running with was it's hybrid computing for the next gen Xbox. Yeah. Meaning they're going to use cloud technology to offload some of the processing power for the Xbox.
Right. Yeah.
So they're calling it the hybrid computing, like whatever.
And then I seen a couple of people, like, while we were talking about it, talk about like the disk drive. That's definitely a conversation. I am in the camp where I'm like, bro, I haven't used a disc in my Series X for. I maybe use it once just to see if it did anything.
It took me 2 years to ever put a fucking disc in it.
Yeah, so that's what camp I'm in if you really need to ask. Yeah. I don't really use it, but I understand the conversation with people like, I still need to use my disc. But the thing is, like, I don't know, I don't want to be that person like, screw your decision, but like a lot of discs nowadays, they don't have the game on there. You know, it's basically a license to a digital copy.
The only argument that I saw today that I can kind of understand is people were talking about 360 disc games that aren't downloadable digitally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for the back compatibility.
That's the only thing I saw people arguing that be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But again, that's like 5 games.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So I'm in the game. I understand. I do think they should, just to shut people up, to put a disc in there, but I don't think I bet you they're looking at the data and like, bro, no one's really using disc.
Well, they've already shut down, like, I know it was like last year they said that they shut down all the disc manufacturing in Brazil or some shit. So it's like they don't make Xbox games in Brazil anymore or on disc.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably something that's slowly happening or fastly happening anyway, but like there'll probably be the original Series X version to buy for a while before they phase it out. Because on that list, we don't know when they're gonna end the life of that, and I don't know. It's gonna be weird if you all of a sudden have no more Xbox disc out there. It is gonna be strange, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be weird.
To see that
GameStop is just like
welcome to PC in 2005.
Just game cards on the wall, right? Like with codes and shit like that. Like it'll be interesting. I just don't know. Like, I understand there'll be a lot of people upset, right? So I don't want to discount their feelings on it. I personally, for me, I could care less. The only game I've ran on disc on my Series X was NBA 2K22. And the only reason that is because I bought the physical version of that one because Dirk was on the cover and I wanted to own the physical version because I wanted Dirk Nowitzki on NBA 2K box, right? And so I wasn't going to buy the game twice, so I had the disc version. So I literally actually just took it out of my Xbox the other day. I didn't realize it was still in there. And like there's 2 other NBA 2Ks that have come out since then. So that's the same disc because it's been sitting in there for 2 years. And besides that, I haven't put a disc in it whatsoever. And I could say for the other aspect besides the back compat, though, Jasper, would be for like people that have large Blu-ray collections of movies and stuff. Like a lot of people do use them as like
for movies,
as well. Like
but at the same time, I'm sure that they have some other fucking device that can play that too.
I don't.
If they did a thing,
I don't have a Blu-ray player. I have my console.
No, but you have 18 Xboxes, so it's like,
yeah.
Are those people also going to have a PlayStation or a Blu-ray player or a fucking 360 or Xbox Ones? Yeah. Like they probably have another device that can play that.
You can get a Blu-ray player for cheap, so it's not a huge deal.
I seen a patent for PlayStation where they're taking out the disc drive, but they add like a detachable thing where you just buy the disc drive separately. You plug it into the PS5.
That's supposed to be the PS5 Slim. That's supposed to be releasing.
So if that happened, I mean, I can't see Xbox doing that, but it'd be pretty smart.
I think it was Idleslaw, someone. He's like, Xbox already made a solution, and then he like put up the fucking HD hard drive or HD player from 360. He's like, Xbox already made that shit for you.
Right. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I don't know. Personally, it won't affect me as a consumer, but I understand it will affect people. So those that care, you know what, but we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll keep supporting the current Series X for a while. There was that one part that said end of life for
I like having the
You know,
option
so I don't know.
there. I like knowing there's a disk drive there. I'm never gonna use it. I like the fact that like, oh, if I want to use it, so maybe that's the thing. Yeah.
I kind of look at it as like a car now too. You buy a car, it doesn't have a CD player anymore. Like, you know, like
No, you replace that shit with a backup camera. It's so much better.
yeah. And like, oh, but I realized the other like a couple months ago, I opened a glove box, looked for something, and there was a fucking disk drive in the glove box for the stereo. Like we had no idea.
Like external plug-in one or just like built in?
No, it was built in there. It actually goes to the stereo, and I was like, and I looked again at the stereo, and actually had buttons on it for that. I'm like, oh my god, how we've been driving this car for like 2 years, and I had no fucking clue that it had a disc player in the glove box. Now, did I go and be like, "Yay, this is awesome," and go get
what
my
a terrible
CDs?
place to put that? Like, you always see like people always like on commercials like wrecking, trying to like, oh, I dropped my CD and like fumbling at the center console. Imagine fucking opening a glove.
Oh yeah. Let me get that. Let me take out all these old papers and shit that I've jammed in there to make sure I can put this disc in. Yeah, it was weird too. I remember back in the day they used to do stuff with like the navigation and stuff like that. You know, you remember having to buy a navigation disc?
No,
freaking weird, man. But yeah, they put a freaking disc drive there, and I was like, cool. I have like that closet back there. I was digging through it the other day because I had to get some stuff for this room. I found like a bunch of old ass CDs.
CD player plugged into the wall.
You know, I found a bunch of old CDs. I wasn't like, yeah, I'm gonna go listen to my CDs in my car. I'm like, yeah, I was fucking listening to them on Spotify. Like, you know what I mean? I got the. It's just the way we listen and watch and consume shit
the
now.
Future.
Welcome to the future.
The Poison mentioned a thing. Yeah, I was mentioning. And then the controller thing. I do like the fact that in this document that I mean the design, but I like some of the features in there actually. The fact that like when you pick it up, it can turn on and some of the haptic stuff, and they might have the some sound stuff coming out of it. And Poison mentioned in the chat like about the Xbox battery. I love the fact that it's just a battery, you know. Just because my PlayStation 5 controller dies in like 5 seconds now, and like over time it's been getting.
I've literally had the same rechargeable batteries in my Xbox controller since the fucking Xbox One came out. They die. I just plug in my controller for like an hour in my Xbox, and then it's back to full charge.
Yeah, I mean, you can use a regular battery if you want, or you can make it work like a PS5, where you could get the rechargeable ones if you want. Like that's great, you know.
How
for me,
dare you give us options?
Freaking give us options. If I want it to work like a PS5 controller, I can.
Yeah,
you know, or if I wanted to just like, you know, just have regular batteries and I put it in there, which I do.
Yeah, but think about how much money you're spending on fucking AA's every year.
Not if you can recharge your AA's, which I have the little thing to just recharge the AA's.
Yeah, but then you got to get up.
I mean, true. Yeah, sometimes I'm too lazy to. I'll just go get another AA.
And then like your controller dies and you get off Xbox for the night. You just go to bed and you're like, shit, I've got to charge my batteries in the morning. So then you can't play Xbox the next day.
Well, I'll tell you what we have. We have like 5 different AA rechargeable like stations in this house with just AA's in them constantly. So I got one in the other room. I got one in this room. We got one in our bedroom. I got one in the kitchen, and like next to where the living room is. So like wherever we're at, like if we need to quickly just swap the AA's out, we just quickly do it. And we always got charged up AA's, right?
Yeah, and Kate says, just have a kid to get your batteries for you. It's like pretty good attachment.
I thought we had one on the wall by the window in the bedroom. Oh no,
that's a different rechargeable station.
No, we took that. No, we took that. That's the one in the kitchen now. Yeah, so we just have the one between the living room and the bedroom.
Is it a snap or is it a text when you get your kid? Is it a
snap?
Hey, battery.
No, when she wants my daughter to do something, she'll be real sweet, like,
oh, okay.
Hey, Kaylee, can you do me a favor? You know,
a flavor.
Yeah, yeah. We say flavor as a joke sometimes. You say favor. Can you get me the batteries from the kitchen?
Yeah, that's
You're
free.
so sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, thanks, you're the best. Yeah.
Yeah. And it comes with like compliments. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Does she ever say no?
No.
She's like, I can't. I'm in a game. I know you don't sound like that. I can't make your sound. I'm trying my best. Anyway. Yeah, but that's that's it for the big leak. I mean, there was more, like we'll probably cover some more on Thursday and Friday. But yeah, this has been fun. That sound like a what? Yeah, this has been a fun show. Crazy stuff. Again, I think a lot of this has probably changed from then. Xbox has always been very dynamic and fluid and changing things around, and it, like the plans may be one thing and it kind of could have morphed into something else, right? Like they kind of seemed like that way. So but we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, everybody.
And start Fun Pop because we didn't do that tonight.
Yeah. we'll do
right, time to start Fun.
We'll have Fun Pop next week for sure. How many more episodes of Ahsoka?
The new one just came out
tonight, so we have 7 and 8 and it's over.
Okay. We'll probably have a spoiler cast for Ahsoka after episode 8, like immediately after. Like,
so that means we will have to watch episode 8 before Fun Pop goes live.
We'll watch. I'll watch Ahsoka and immediately go live with Fun Pop and just talk about it, right? That for episode 8. Anyway, let's get everybody out of here. Chat, you've been awesome. Thanks for going over all these leaks with us and giving us your thoughts and helping out with some of the lingo and stuff like that. Psycho, tell everybody where they can find you, bro.
Thank you, chat, for coming out tonight on this special edition of Fun Pop. It's amazing. Always love the energy that you guys bring. But yeah, you can find me on social media. I'm falling asleep as I'm talking. I'm so tired. Fucking yeah, social media everywhere. Psychonauts 8 and yeah, Jasper will let you know when the mother shows.
Okay. Right on, Psycho.
I don't even know what he said, but okay.
Yeah, 3-bit. What about you, dude?
Hey y'all, it's an awesome show. You guys can find me on Twitter at i3bit. I've been a little AWOL because I was recovering from the sickness, down with the sickness. But I'm feeling better. So yeah, I'll probably just be playing Starfield these past few next weeks. I got a lot of stuff planning with commercials and stuff like that I'll keep you guys updated on. But just look at Affleck, go on Hulu or something. If you guys see it, tag me in it. I would love to see if you guys see an Affleck commercial or on whatever you guys watch. Tag me. I want to see other people watch it as well. Love y'all. Great conversations. A lot of stuff. I like how we kind of broke down throughout this episode because it like gave me clarity on the document itself. Yeah. So that was really fun actually. So love y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Thanks, 3-bit. Appreciate you, bro. And lore shipbuilder Jasper.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out like what Caitlin was on about. She was like in the chat talking about
Starfield, Dubai, I guess.
Yeah, this is Dubai mission.
Oh yeah. I get it now. Lord Jasper Twitter, Lord Master Jasper YouTube. I put out a ship build today from Pitch Black. It was a community request, so I did that. Put that out. That's about it for me. I got 10 p.m. Monday, Friday, and Tuesday. I said that weird. I know. That's FSB, Fun Pop, and Xbox Ultimate, and it's right here on Fun Speculation Network. Check it out.
Right on, bro. Everybody, Starfield's a masterpiece. That's all I got to say. Have a great night. Peace out.